incredibly humbled and honored. Just to be recognized alongside all these other amazing young entrepreneurs, and at the same time in a global pandemic, just really means a lot, and is very, very special. I think the number one support that I have is Ruth Ann Rogerson. She was the founder of Dance London, and she kind of took me under her wing during a very, very difficult time. I came back to Dance London as a teacher after we lost our son Max. He was a stillbirth, and it was a very, very dark time, and I didn't really know where where dance kind of was going to fit into my life again after the loss. And she just took me under her wing and got me back into the studio, got me back moving, doing what I love, and then just kind of healed my soul and my heart. And then about after a year after that loss, she approached me saying, "You're the one to take over this business." She was 72 at the time and ready to retire. And I often look back and think, if that awful time and that dark time wouldn't have happened and she wouldn't have been there as my support, I probably wouldn't be here today. And Ruth Ann just, I feel, knew that Dance London was my happy place, and I was meant to carry on her legacy. And I still am, very passionate about staying true to our philosophy that she created, and that is creating a space for everybody, people of all ages, all abilities, all ethnicities, a place where they feel safe and welcome, and to learn an art of dance in a very kind and loving way.
Last few months.
I've definitely learned that I am strong enough to handle anything. I think, going back to our loss, I think when you lose a child, you realize the strength that you have, and to overcome that, you never really fully recover, but it definitely gives you a sense of strength. And COVID-19 was another point in my life that I was reminded about just how strong of a person I am. And yes, I did have a few dark days where I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and it was very overwhelming. But then that little voice inside me, it's like the little engine that was like, no, you get back up, you stand up, you figure out what you're going to do next, and you keep on going. And it just caused me, I feel like the 2020 word in business is pivot, but that's exactly what we did. So within a week, we, recorded content for over 80 classes, posted them on an app, got kids moving that way. And then when we knew that we were going to be shut down for a very long, extended period of time, then we're like, okay, now we got to go and do this virtually. So then we adapted again. My project for 2021 is just expanding on what we do, so that we're not just relying solely on an in-person service. Oh, I think London is a city, but it definitely has a small town supportive atmosphere. So I'm not from London originally. I'm from a small little town called Hayesville, grew out in the country. My parents had an apple orchard, so definitely a country bumpkin. But what was so special about where I grew up was everyone was very supportive of local businesses and supported each other. And when I got married and I moved out closer to London, and then started teaching at Dance London, and then now being a business owner in London, I've really made tons of connections and friends in local businesses, and it's always amazing to me how much we support each other. And I've also as a woman in business, I have become friends with so many other women entrepreneurs. And I think even though we're a big city, we really, really have that small town feel where we support local and we support each other. And then going back in terms of how that relates to Dance London, Dance London very much is a community, has a community feel with it. We're very family-based. And I think people are really loyal to our brand and to Dance London and really want to support us that way. So we have customers or clients that have been with us since their children have been 3 years old, and now their kids are teenagers and they're still dancing with us. So just that really community support and being loyal to businesses, I think what works for us being in London.